Senior Report thanks Edmund Besch of Bristol Burgess Insurance Agency, 65 East Main Street, Westfield, for his generous grant to provide news to seniors. Funding is provided by a grant from New York State Senator Catherine M. Young, representing Western New York's 57th District with a local office in Olean. Funding is provided by a grant from Absolute Care of Westfield, committed to returning the favor to those who spent a lifetime caring for others. Absolute Care is located at 26 Cass Street in Westfield. Dave Cass and Rick Newell provide funding on behalf of the Lakeview Hotel and Restaurant at the Docks, located on Water Street near the lake in Mayville. Senior Report with Reed Powers thanks Westfield's Schultz Chevy for a generous grant to inform seniors of important news. Over 50 years of service to Westfield by Chevrolet, Schultz Chevy across from the school. From the Access Channel 5 television studio in Mayville, it's Senior Report with Reed Powers. Senior Report is broadcast live throughout northern Chautauqua County on Saturday morning from 9 to 10 a.m. each week. Call in and share a thought, make a comment, ask a question, or simply wish someone a happy birthday on Chautauqua County's only live call-in senior program. Since 1995, Reed has been bringing viewers hundreds of interesting guests, informing the community on a variety of subjects. Here's the host of the show, Reed Powers.
And good morning. What a beautiful day here in Chautauqua County. A little bit of mist coming down to keep the flowers growing and the grapes growing and all your little veggies that are starting, and the tomatoes are already rocketing up because of those few days of rain we've had. It just literally impelled the plants. They're all going like crazy. What a place to live. Fishing's fantastic. There's a big fishing contest down at Barcelona right now. Everybody, you can't even get in there. There's so many trailers piled up all up and down the road everywhere. It's going to be a gala day. And a lot of fish will be caught. Of course, the lake is pretty good this year. They tell me the fish are biting well. And why not? Of course, nobody's getting to the blue pike yet. We used to have millions of blue pike out there. You could fill a boat with them at night when you went out. Gone. One day they just disappeared. One day they were gone. They were catching them one day. The next day they were gone. There were no more biting. That was it. And nobody quite knows what happened to them, but no more blue pike, but a lot of yellow pike, also called walleyes, I might add. And that's the big deal now. The walleye fishing down there along our lake, and especially Barcelona, incredible. And just down the road from Barcelona is a house I used to live in. As a kid, I was raised there almost 10 years, and my Aunt Em owned it. Well, we had it for over a century in the family, and then Aunt Em passed away at the age of 102. If you remember the Pools, Julia and Nellie Poole, who took over my great-grandfather's haberdashery shop on the corner of Main and Portage, where the barber shop is now. Well, it used to be a big clothing store, and my great-grandfather had it, and when he passed away, it went to the Pools. And Nellie Poole took the haberdashery half, and then Julia Poole took the other side, which is where the barber shop is now, and she put in a soda fountain, ice cream and soda and so forth. And during Prohibition, some of the fishermen, including notably by repute, Pike Monroe, used to take a lot of night trips over to Canada. They'd bring the booze back, and they'd run it up to Julia, and Julia would pass it off. And everybody in town who wanted a drink during Prohibition would go in and say, "I want a special." And she knew just what they wanted. Little history of Westfield for you. We have Gail Black with us. She now is a proprietor of that beautiful property down on Route 5. It's called the Sugar Shack now. And she has all kinds of syrups and things she makes there, and a lot of grapes around. And we'll have a lot of chat with her briefly. She has taken a nothing situation and built it into a very good tourist attraction, and does quite well with it. And she's going to tell you how you can get involved yourself in some of the tricks of the trade. All right. You may have to start your own tourist trade the way jobs are going around here. Okay, guys. Back to the news and everything. Well, you know, now there's pot shots from Romney and Obama. The elections are coming, and it's getting higher and higher heat with the discussions, each one criticizing the other. And Romney, of course, he's I think he's got $500 million anyway tucked away, and he doesn't have any concept of what it is for the poor to live, and his wife neither. Although they criticize somebody who criticized her for she never worked a day in her life. She said, "Oh, she's a stay-at-home mom. You can't criticize." No, she doesn't have any concept either of what it is to be out there in the real world, really trying to make a living and survive, especially with the inflation the government's got going, and especially for seniors who are not getting their fair COLA. They're giving you baloney figures, the so-called core inflation and everything, and it's just nonsense. There is major inflation going on now. You're not getting the real amount. You're getting 47 cents on a dollar from what you got 10 years ago. Yeah, that's what your dollar's worth now, and it's getting worse and worse. Seniors, you're in trouble, and you know it. Well, there's a new game in town. It's a reverse mortgage. They're advertising it all over the television. So seniors, if you don't get a COLA, you still have some money in your house. Sell your house. Yep, that's the way it's going. Thank you, Congress of the United States, and your basically Social Security plan, which is just bunkum at this point. I don't think there'll be much left for the kids coming up. All right, enough's going on locally, because Chautauqua County has a very large budget deficit, and there is only one way they can come back on it, and they can fill it, and that is with local real estate taxes. Yep, your real estate taxes are going to have a whopping jump, which was 2 years ago. You were alerted to this by Senior Report, because the legislature, in their wisdom, quote, balanced the budget by putting a lot of the funding for the budget that year into the next year, which is this year now. So now we have the funding from last year and this year, and we have this year's funding, and it's becoming a real problem. Fortunately, they had lost $10 million. They found it. They found $10 million. Sounds a little funny to me, but they suddenly found $10 million, which will help out. But we're still going to have a big chunk missing, guys. And keep in touch with your local legislators. I'm going to have them on regularly, and they will try to give you some information. They have the same information for the most part that I have and everybody else has. I don't know. How are you going to make the money? I don't know. Yep, I know how it's going to be. You know, we happen to be the highest taxed county in these United States. Yeah, we are. Well, some people argue, say, well, in certain ways they're not so high, and so forth. We got this and that and the other, and you compare it. No, no matter how you cut it, we're off the charts. And if they're going to have this increase in there, it's going to be devastating, I think. Seniors are moving out, baby. You see it when they have this homes for sale. A lot of them are seniors now. Used to be a quarter of a page. Now it's about 2 pages of houses for sale that people are trying to get away. It's not good, and we've got to change that somehow or the other. We've got to get control of our county expenses, among other things, and even local expenses. All right, enough of that. We have a lot of good things happening in the senior crowd. We have a great bunch, fortunately, of senior citizen clubs around the county. And I'm going to say hello to a few of them here. First and foremost, right here in Mayville, they have a big club. I'll tell you, if you know Joyce Ayers, she's the president. And if you want to get involved with a fun club, join them. They meet at the VFW at noon, and every 2 weeks. And they bring their own dish pass. Usually a main course is provided. And it's just terrific. They have a great meeting and a good time. And of course, afterwards, they all, as all clubs do, play bingo. So I want to say happy birthday over there. Francis Anderson, Marguerite Braitman, Ross Field, and Betty Johnson. Those are life members, incidentally. Betty Johnson, life members. They're members forever and ever. A lot of other people over there. I haven't got time. They tell me I'm running out of time already. They're going to Cleveland's Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Check with Gene Kelsey. Leaves the VFW in the morning, and they'll 7:15, and they'll take off, and they still have a room or two there. Call 753-7814, 753-7814. New members, Mayville, the lifeblood of the organization. Carol Mead, Fred Newman, Joanne Harper, Dan Getty, and Darlene Getty. Hey, you can't go wrong, and excuse me for looking at the paper. Let's see, they had the Northeast Banjo Band over. Boy, I got to have them on air here sometime. Plus Doc and Bill. They have a great band. Next meeting, June 21st at noon at the Mayville VFW. And they'll be talking about the State Energy Conservation Department. Well, we should be saving energy. I don't know why we're not using gas. We have more gas than you can shake a stick at. And we're going deeply into debt to the Arabs and everybody else buying gasoline or oil. We've got natural gas flowing out of the walls around here. Comes right up out of the creek. You down in Ottaway Park, you can jam a bottle. You knock the bottom out of a bottle, Coke bottle, and jam it down over the bubbles, and you now light the top of it, and you got a little light there forever and ever. All right. Sure and Happy Seniors, they have their own song. Yeah, Ellen Suttle is good, is the president, does the job over there, unlocks the door, no pay, of course. They had a retired teacher from Forestville. Her name is Nancy Stock, and she took a trip, man, what a trip. They went to, she climbed Mount Kilimanjaro to the top, 19,000 feet high. You know, that's almost 4 miles. And they had a bunch of guides and everything. It was a long time dream. It took hours and days and months of preparation, and away they went. The Maid of the Mist trip, which a lot of seniors were going on from other clubs, has been canceled due to a lack of interest. They're going to the casino instead. A lot of interest in the casinos. Next meeting will be June 22nd at noon, and they will have a pizza party at St. John Bosco Hall. Silver Crickers, they have their own beautiful clubhouse there. Ed Newman does the job. He's the president. And they're going to have the next meeting over there will be June 19th. And Gene Suski calls bingo. Westfield Seniors. Hello, Shirley Copine. She and her husband, John. John is notably, you know, he's a nice old fellow, you know. I think he's about 80 now. And John and she are having a wedding anniversary. Good luck on it. New members over there, Barb Travis, Elizabeth McCrody, Betty Morgenstern, Marilyn Norton, and Lorraine Braska. How do you do, guys? Wonderful to have new members because the old members leave one way or another. Happy birthday over there, Al Rainwright, Leslie Annie, Carol Young, and Shirley and John again. A big anniversary kiss for you guys. They're taking a July outing on the Chautauqua Bill. They'll meet at Mayville Park at 4 p.m. on July 12th with a bag lunch and beverage to be paid for at the time of the boat ride. Check with Dolores Kaufman or Shirley Copine if you're interested. Next meeting is June 14th at the YWCA. As always, bring a dish to pass and your own stuff. They're going to have some music by Kent Knappenberger, who's a well-known instrumentalist all over the county. He does some job, I'll tell you. All right, I want to say the trip to Niagara Falls again, May the Mist for many seniors who are on that. It's been canceled. Not interested in going. June 13th, you can call up if you want to go on a trip to Elma Maid in American Store, Vidler's in East Aurora, and lunch at the American Grill. Very cheap. Let Freedom Ring, sponsored by United Senior Council of Chautauqua County, is planned for July 4th at 2 p.m. You ring a bell 13 times for each colony, of course. Or blow a horn, play your kazoo, do something to make noise. The next meeting over there will be, July 9th instead of July 2nd because of the 4th of July observance. Yeah, well, that's true. You don't want to go out the 2nd. Too busy. Share and Care, bunch of nice people. Do a job. Anybody can join. They have a lot of the leaders of the county out there. They're going to the Seneca Casino